knots. So let's see if we can go through the book and make some knots. What do you say? Good morning. I hope this camera thing works in the right spot. So first of all, what you're going to need is a rope. And it's probably best if you burn the edges so that they don't unravel. Okay, like that. Use a match or a lighter or something. So this is from the book Knots by Peter Owen. So first it shows us, we're not going to do the whole book, but when knots are plied, ropes are plied. First you spin it one way, you spin all the ropes one way, and then you go the other way to wrap them around each other, and that's how you end up with a ply. You see, each individual one is going to the one way, all of them are going the same way, and then you put one on for the opposite way. You put them all together and twist, and then you end up with a rope. Okay, so we're just using plastic rope because we're just finding out the knots. Okay, so stopper knots. So this book is by Peter Owen, as I said, and it cost $12.95. It was printed in Singapore. So this group of knots is most often used to prevent the end of the rope, string, or small stuff slipping through an eye hole or a hole, through an eye or a hole. So stopper knots can also be used to bind the end of a line so it won't unravel, or decorations. At sea they use to weight lines or on running rigs, also by climbers, campers, and fishermen. So the simple overhand knot, which is the basis of so many knots, is a stopper knot. So we do that just by going like this. So we take it, we go over and under and through, and that is a stopper knot. Plastic ropes don't want to hold together. I guess you know that. Okay, so the next one, which is a basis, this is a stopper knot. Sailors tend to use the figure 8 knot for general use and multiple overhand knots. So here we have an overhand knot, which is what we have just done. So we take it, we loop it over. We'll do it this way. It comes from here, we loop it around, and then it goes through. It doesn't matter which side you're coming from because it's going to end up the same. Now it's not used by sailors. It's difficult to untie when the rope is wet. Okay, so now we're going to go to the overhand loop. So that is this one, an overhand loop. I use that a lot. When I'm tying something on the bar, I tie everything, and just before I get to the end, I make this overhand knot. So you loop it, and then it's the same thing as your overhand knot, but this is an overhand loop. And then, when you need to, you can winch things tightly. You carry on packing, and then you get to the end of your rope, and you put it in here, and you can pull it and pull it and pull it really hard, and then just tie that in a knot. Okay, so now, oops, I guess we should go in another room. Well, not. So the next is a multiple overhand knot. So, and this is a really good one. It's also tied at the ends of the lashes of Cat of Nine Lives. The whip used for flogging in both the nation. Wait a minute. Anyway, so what you do, it's the same as the overhand knot, but you're going to go back through it over and over. So this one we're going to put near the end because we're making all these knots, and then we're just going to keep them here. So I'll make it here. This was the overhand loop, which is really good for winching things closed. Okay, and then the multiple overhand knot. So this one
Yes.
is
And it was not on the list of
is the
criteria.
same. You do that, and then instead of just going through it once,
Okay, and then I have to fill out the screen.
instead of just going through it once,
And
you go it through it how many times? 2. How many times did it say? 1, 2.
Okay, I'll try it one more time.
So you go
Sorry.
1, 2, and then you. This has only got it 2 times. Let's do it 3 times. I like to do this one 3 times. And this one will not slip. So no success?
Not so far.
Okay, we may have to go to Brockville or something. Okay, so pull this one, and then you can tighten it and tighten it and tighten it. And that will not come out. So while this one, you see how this one is hard to do? If I had gone back through it again, twice, then you pull it tight and it won't come out. But right now it wants to come out, right? So that was our overhand knot, the overhand loop, and the multiple overhand knot. And show you his pictures again. Okay, and then a heaving line knot. And that's going to look like this. So let's see if we can follow the pictures. So we start, I'm sorry that all this stuff is kind of going to complicate what it looks like. So we go over it. See, we double them. And we go around and up. Oh, we need further rope here. Need to make it further away from the last one. So we've got them together, and then we go over and up and around and around and around. Okay, so you went around 3 times, and then you're just going to go through the loop.
That's 40 bucks.
Okay, so there it is. This is the heaving line knot. Does it just end there? No. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, and then we pull this one. Okay, yes, that's what. So we're going to pull the long end. We're going to pull it right through. This is used for sailing, when a heavy line is to be thrown ashore or aboard another boat. It's attached to a heaving line. One, two, three, four, and you just pull it tighter and tighter and tighter. I don't know exactly what the purpose of this one is for, but that's the heaving line knot. And they're usually 1/2 to 3/4 inch in diameter and maybe up to 80 feet long. And this is so that the heavier line can be pulled across the gap. The knot is tied at the end of the lighter line to give it necessary. It's also, the knot's alternative name derives from the use to weight the ends of the cords that Franciscan monks used as belts. Looks like I better plug you up. Where's the plug up stuff? Here it is over here. How's this going? You enjoying learning knots? I hope that it becomes a good reference for you. So that was a heaving line knot. And next is a figure 8 knot. And so this one, you start by making your loop, and then And then so first you go like this. Okay. And then this one comes up behind it. And then instead of going through there like you would have done for your first knot, you're going to go the opposite way. So you're going to go through the loop. Okay, so you've gone around, you're going to go through the loop and you pull it shut. This one can go close to the last one. This is the figure 8 knot. I haven't made these before. I've made, the odd knot, but not like this. So this is a figure 8 knot. And then you can pull it closed, and there it is. It's an interlacing knot as an emblem of interwoven affection in heraldry. It's made at the end of the line with the upper loop around the standing part, and the lower part is the working end. You can also make a chain of them. Like here's a picture of a chain of it's a series of figure 8 knots all in the same. It can be used as a belt or a strap for a shoulder bag. Okay, now we move on to hitches. So they've got the highwayman's hitch, the timber hitch, the constrictor knot, a clove hitch, a fisherman's bend, a round turn and 2 half hitches, an Italian hitch, and a Prussian knot. So we'll go with the highwayman's hitch. Okay, so we're going to have something that we're tying up. So I'll have to get a stick or something. I know, just the stick. 1 minute. There you go. Fell on your head. I hope you're not wounded. Are you okay? No, you're upside down. You're completely upside down. Your orientation. There you are. Are you all right? Sorry about that. Okay, well, we'll just bring your cord up a little higher, and we'll put you back in your egg carton where you belong. And I shall go over there and get a stick around which to wrap this thing. Probably use a big stick, shouldn't I? Well, this is the biggest stick we've got for the moment. Well, I could go outside. Let's go outside and get a different kind of stick. Shall we? I'll just take you with me, but you have to get unplugged. Look at how I cleaned. Look, I've been working on my weaving. I've been cleaning and cleaning. Cleaning and cleaning. Not so much there. Cool, eh? So let's get a stick out of here. Feed the birds nothing to eat. Let's use a stick. Look in here. Let's see what we've got. Aha! And here we have a stick. You could take some of the bark off. That would be appropriate, don't you think? Have a peeled stick. Okay, let's get to work. I'll let you see how beautiful it is out here. Always good to take a break when we're working, don't you think? See these socks? The socks that I boiled? They got smaller. They're still a little bit long, but you just pull them way up above your knees. Way up above your knees. See? I have to put hinges on this. I have to cut it down to size. Okay. Thank you for coming with me. This is fun. Okay, so we got our stick. I can't believe I got that much threaded. I've only got that much left. It's gonna be a very, very dense warp. I'll probably end up making tea towels or something. I think it's every 1/4 inch. There's gonna be a thread. I know, you have a low battery. I'll put in your IV. There. There, look at you. You perked right up. Okay, so let's get busy on this one. So now we're into hitches, and we have a stick to put it around. Ta-da! Should probably use the huge stick, but whatever. The half hitch. No, the highwayman's hitch. So that one, let's go back and review. So we have an overhand knot, and then we have an overhand loop. Then we have a multiple overhand knot. And then we have a heaving line knot. And then we have a figure 8 knot. Now we're moving on to hitches. So we're going to start with a highwayman's hitch. So we take our stick. Hi, Susan. Thanks. I liked singing for you yesterday. That was fun. I wanted Willem to sing with me too, but sometimes singing and playing is difficult. Okay, so we take our stick and we're going to put a loop behind the stick. Then we bring another loop up in front of the stick. Okay, so we now have 2 loops, a loop on the front and a loop on the back, and all we've done is put them like so. Okay, now we take one inside of the other one, and then we make a third hit, another loop. So this one, okay, now with this, that one came from there. So this one is going to go around the other side. How did that work? Hold on. Let's start over. So we've got this on one side. And then with this part, the first part, we put a loop in the front. With the second part, this goes through there. And with the second part, we bring another one through the top. So you see how we made 2 loops, and one goes through the other, and it gets tightened up. And then we make a second one that goes through the first one, and it gets tightened up. And this is a highwayman's hitch. The name highwayman's hitch comes from the fact the knot was supposedly used by robbers to ensure a swift release for their horses' reins. So I think you can pull it and the whole thing will come apart. So let's do that again. So you put one on the front and one on the back, and the one goes into the other. And then you go around it, and the next one goes through the first. And then you pull it all tight. Horse is over here trying to get away. And then this is your rope to pull. Okay, highwayman's hitch. Okay, and now we have a half hitch. I wonder if we can put this on our same stick, or if we should just get another stick. So a half a hitch, we're going to it just goes over. Just come from this way, it comes over, and it goes around. Don't worry, my rope won't be so long later. So it goes over and around. And then you pull it, that's a half a hitch. No, is that right? No, that's not right. Okay, so we're going to go, this is our beginning one. So we go around and through, and now how is this different from that other one we were doing? That's just a half a hitch. So if you were going to tie a knot, you have to make 2 of these, right? A usual knot. This rope is really hard to make it stay anywhere. So that was a half a hitch. And then 2 half hitches are, well, that was the half hitch there. Hi, Lisa. You're driving to work. Oh, I'm glad you listened to the singing. That was awesome. The first time our internet died. So half hitch, so 2 half hitches. I think it's confusing me because I'm using this stick now. I think they've got a loop in this picture, so maybe I should get a ring. What have I got for a ring? Draw a ring and then another ring. Okay, so let's do this again. We will disregard the other stuff on it. It's just really hard to have that stay in place. See, it's not a good knot for this kind of stuff. All right, so then our half hitch will go around this stick. So we go around it once. Okay, so pretend this is a ring. We're going around it once. And then we can go around it again, but we have to use this one to go around it. So we have to turn it around, do it all backwards. Just put all this on the other side. So you go over and through, there we go, that's your half hitch. And then you can do it again. But you go from the same side around, and then it sticks out the opposite way that the first one stuck out. So it's like the opposite of a square knot. It's just a regular so that was our single hitch there. We should have moved up the line. All right, there's your single hitch, or a half hitch, right? And it's holding something. All right, and then your next one is, you go down here, under there, and you go back in the way everything else was. I'm sorry, getting my rope ready. Okay, so you've got your first loop holding on, and then you're going to go around and you're going to do a second loop, but you're not going to have it coming out the same way because that would be a square knot. So you go the same way on that side, that same side you were on before. And then this part is going to go through. This is the regular knot you tie all the time. Okay? So half a hitch. And this is the most widely used knot, fastening, but it's very temporary. It's not meant to take any strain, but just to complete and strengthen other knots, which may be used for tying, hanging, or hooking. Okay, that was that one. So now we're going to do the cow hitch. So this is our ring we're going around. So we go through our ring and around. And then we're going to go back the way we came before. I go around. This is, the book is showing the other direction. So go around. There. and then it comes up and goes back through the same hole again. So here we go. There you are. So this is a cow hitch. Turn it around so you can see it. A cow hitch. Okay, and now a timber hitch. Timber hitches are interesting. Sorry, I think that might have been my fault. I hope it didn't fall on your head again. Sorry. Oh, because my rope is going over your what's it called? Your IV. Okay, so now I'll put you in here again. Back where you belong. Okay, and now I won't pull your wire anymore. So this was the cow hitch. All right, now we're going to do a timber hitch, which is going to turn out like that. That's a timber hitch. So let's see if we can figure this out. So we're going to go, we've got our original rope is coming in from here, okay? This is the end of our rope. So it's coming in from there, and we're going to go under it here, and then we're going to go around it. You see how that goes. You come down and around, and this goes this way, and then it goes that way again. It just keeps doing the same thing. 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, I've already got, 1, 2, 3, that's right. Come on, don't bring my dress up with you. Okay, so this is it. So now we've gone that way, and then we've gone around it 3 times, and then we pull it tight. And this is going to be tucked in through all those things. So it can be a little loose at first, and then tuck that through it and pull it tight. And then you've made yourself see if we can get this nice and tight. And pull that down. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Well, honey, I'm looking for a rapid COVID, for a COVID test.
So it's like a
Contact with confirmed case, and I don't see anything on the website.
that is the timber hitch.
On the website link.
Is that right? I think it might need to go around one more time. Let's do that again.
Okay.
Okay, so around it goes. Okay.
Okay.
There,
so I
now
go
we've
by
got
the
those-
pharmacy and pick up the kit and
those
identify myself,
3.
Or just come in first come first served, what is it? Okay, good enough.
Okay.
I didn't quite get this last bit. So I don't have any symptoms. I have a little bit of a sniffle, but I'm not sure that it's related. And I
Okay.
got a cold, yes, indeed.
So there we go.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the timber hitch.
Yeah. First name is Willem, W-I.
Okay, we gotta stop now. Okay, hello, blah 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 blah. Okay, don't say it again, Willem. La 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 la.
12:15
Okay.
at Seaway Palais.
Can you make one for me too, Willem?
Okay, Dragon Giant Tiger. Okay, good.
Okay, so
Okay, thank you so
now
much.
we have a transom knot.
Bye-bye.
Okay, the transom knot. Now this is going to need 2 sticks. Double your pleasure. Regina and Tara and Susan say hi, Willem. Okay, so we've got first, that one was, let's go back through our book and we'll see what this one was called. This was called, you know it already, right? This is the overhand knot. This is the overhand loop. This is the multi-overhand knot. This is the heaving line knot. And this is the figure 8 knot. And then we get into the hitches. And so this is the, I'm just learning how to do the knots. I've got a knot book, and so I'm doing knot after knot after knot. I'm doing them all on the same rope so I can learn what they're called and what they do. So I've got the that's a figure 8. Then there's the highwayman's hitch. You remember that one? Guess it goes through here? No. It goes around there. Is that right? No, that was a highwayman's hitch. And I think that went around like this. That's it. So we've got the highwayman hitch. And then we've got a half hitch.
Okay. Well, I'm picking up a kid at Carlton Place.
Okay.
Wednesday,
Oh, you can't do it today?
no. They deliver them and you have to be there at a certain place at a certain time.
Oh,
Because what they do, they just drop them in a trunk or something. Or
okay. Boy, that's hard. Okay, so that's on Wednesday?
that's on Wednesday.
So I need to, I guess if yours comes up positive, then I would need to check me.
Yeah, you can check because the criteria are being in contact with somebody who is confirmed, and I am not confirmed. But
Okay.
if it is positive, then you have to go.
Okay. But I just got back from Vancouver, so who knows what
I know, but there's no confirmed case, so
right.
you didn't.
But I won't be able to find out
Right, that's right.
unless the airplane will call me and tell me that there
If
was
they
a
do
case.
contact tracing, yeah.
Okay, so that was the cow hitch, and then this was the timber hitch, which is supposed to look like that. I love tatting. I've got my tatting book out. I'm going to tat snowflakes for my Christmas tree. Ha 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 ha. And if you're lucky, I'll let you come. If you're a good girl. Okay, so the timber hitch is this. And then we have a transom knot. Now this is going to connect 2 things. Oh, I see what happened here. My other stick fell out. Where, oh, air did my other stick go? Okay, so for the transom knot, I'm going to need 2 sticks. 1 stick, 2 stick, 3 stick, 4, 5, 6 stick, 7 stick more. So 2 of these. And so it's going to come up 1 stick and go around. So it's going to come up 1 stick and go around it, and then it's going to cross them at the center, and then it's going to go around the other way, and then it's going to go you and your IV and your egg carton. You're a real mess, aren't you? Let's put you back in here. Try not to jump off the table every time I hit you in the face with a stick. I mean, it's a simple request. Okay. Hi. Okay, so the transom knot. So you're going over and you're crossing it on that side, which I can't really show you without knocking you off the table again. Okay? So just go around one and cross it, and you haven't connected it at all to the other one yet. And then you're going to go around and cross your first one, and then go, you're still not connecting them. So what have I done wrong? I came up along this stick and went behind it and went back down around it and up through. Oh, I see the problem. This stick is supposed to be on this side. Ah, makes sense now, doesn't it? Life is so much clearer when you figure it out. Okay, so you go around this, and then you're going to go right back up in front where you went before, where you came from, where your first entrance was. Why did she say what knot Nancy is doing? I am doing the transom knot. Okay, so it looks like that when you're done. So it goes around them both, and one comes up from one side. Oh, you were a Boy Scout master, Tammy. Good job. Well, I don't know these knots, so I'm working on it. Okay, so we're going to scoot them down, because now we need more room on here. Hey, look, that transom knot is holding them together. That's a pretty good knot to know. I need that knot a lot. Often. Okay, now this one is just going to loop around here. Okay, so we start, we're going to go across it. So we make a loop here. Leave a little loop on one side. What did you say, Susan? Yes, I have ADHD. Okay, so you're going on one side for the beginning, and you go around it, and then come alongside the first one, the top part, and then you go down and up. So this is a constrictor knot? No, wait. Haven't finished yet. Let me see now. We start here, we go across, we make a loop, we go above it, and we go down here, make a loop, in you go, and you make a loop, in and a loop. Oh, I see, okay. And then it comes out underneath it. I'm getting myself all confused. This is not the best learning one, is it? I hope you have an idea what's going on here. Okay, so you're going to go across it, and you leave a loop, and then you go under it where you started. Go under it, and then you cross and go around again, and then down under and up through that one. Okay, and then you pull them tight. Oops, I wondered how long that painting would take to fall. Alright, so you end up with two on each side, and then these have crossed, something like that. And that is called, wait, let me make sure it looks right. It's supposed to, this is the picture of what to do. So you come from here, You make a loop out at the end. You go around it and under your first one and around, and then around there and back, and then you go up through that loop you left. And that is kind of what it looks like when you're done, which probably looks a lot better. This is what it's supposed to look like when you do that. Crochet, knitting, macrame. You do all three of them, crochet and knitting and macrame. I was going through my books today. I have tatting and knitting and crocheting and bobbin lace and then spinning and weaving, I think. Okay, so that's that. So what was that called? Now, what did you say? The name of this book is Knots, and it's written by Peter Owen. It's more than 50 of the most useful knots for camping, sailing, fishing, and climbing. Yes, cotton rope would be better, much better. But I wanted it to be big enough that I could see it. You were doing your scouting since high school, eh? That's really cool. So then the clove hitch. You come from one side, you go around and under and around and through. So it's kind of looks like a double knot at the end. You see, because one is on top of each other. Oh, this nylon rope is the worst ever. It's just terrible. Okay, so that's that. Maybe I should scoot the knot up a little bit. All right, there you go. So this is a clove hitch. Okay, and that was the end of that rope. Wow, what do you think? You gonna try it? You can do this at home. Results may differ. All right, so I guess I need another rope for my second bunch. I'm only on page 24, and this is an ASA book. Goes to page 80. 78. Okay, so I'll have to find another rope and do some more another day. All right, that's it. You can do this at home. Results may differ. My clothesline is metal inside of plastic. Let me see what everybody said before I get off here. Whoa. Susan said, hello, Nancy. Loved your Christmas songs. Thank you very much. C. Willem, someone loved your Christmas songs. Hi, Lisa Oliverius from Omaha. I'm listening to you while I drive to work. Your singing with Willem last night was such a joy. You are the most wonderful couple. Ah, isn't that sweet, Willem?
Yeah, cool.
Okay, and then Tammy Lamoureux says, hi, everyone. And Regina says, good afternoon, Nancy. Oh, yes, it's almost 2. Tammy asks, what are you making? Well, it's just a series of knots. Regina says, hi, Willem.
Hi, Beck.
And Susan says, hi, Terry. Hi, Regina. And Tammy says, Tammy says, agreed, Susan. Agreed what? Oh, you liked it too. What did Susan say? I gotta go back. Oh, wait. I missed this. Susan said, tatting is a series of knots made in different ways, only really small. Yeah, it's just it's like a square knot, is it? No. Anyway, it's just one loop, and then you pull the loop. You have the coming on the same way all the time, so you can pull it. What I'm making is just learning how to make knots. Just curious. Hi, Susan and Regina, says Tammy. Susan, I think she's showing us knots from her book. OIC. Oh, I like that. OIC. Get a Boy Scout book, learned a bunch of knots. So you did that, Tammy. That was a good idea. Knitting, or you're just suggesting it. OIC. Get a Boy Scout book. Oh, learn. So you did that. Susan says, knitting is just knots, too, repeated over and over. Yeah, it's interesting. And then if it loses it, then crocheting is just pulling the knots through each other, or the loops. And Tammy, other than tatting, macrame is another way to use knots for crafts. Yes, knots are. And Susan says, I'm also from Wisconsin, Regina. Or Regina. In Canada, there's a city called Regina, and in New Jersey, I had a friend called Regina. What about Clover, Sheep End, and Lark's Head? Let me look and see if they're in the book. Just a minute. One moment, please. We'll go to the back of the book and look in the index. Because I learned to do that. What? No index? Well, guess we'll have to go to the front. I bet there's a big, long contents. So what did you just say they were? What about Clover? Which is the clover? That's the clove hitch. There's not a clover in the book, but there's a clove. And then what was the next one? Where did it go? Clove. Sheep end and lark's head. Sheep. S. Sheep, sheep, sheep. Sheep. Sheep bend. Is that the one you meant? Sheep bend and lark's head. Are these in alphabetical order? No. L. Lark's Head. Where would Lark's Head be? L. Come back soon. I listened to you and William this morning. You two are my favorite people in the world. Oh, thank you, Regina. Here is a book with decorative knots from the same author. Oh, cool. That's good to have, Terry. So the Lark's Head. There's no lark one in this. Let me go back and see what else you said. Go back, 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 go back. Boy, we have a lot of visiting going on here. Boy Scout knot. Awesome, Tammy. Wisconsin. Susan, whereabouts in Wisconsin? Madison, between Madison and Milwaukee, and live in Owen. Had boys with ADHD, so knots were a major trial for them. Hello, Sister Nancy. Are we going to do macrame? No, we're learning how to do knots today because I have a book on knots. And what good is a book on knots if when I'm out in the woods and I need to tie something together and it doesn't work? I need the book of knots in my head, not in my phone. Okay, it's by Eau Claire on the other side of Marshfield. I do have a macrame book. We could do that. So drink black coffee helps people with ADHD. Interesting. I don't do that because I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This is great. We love your show. Thank you, Terry. Susan, hello, Terry. Regina, I did macrame and crochet before, but I wasn't good at it, so I gave up. Aha. Well, maybe there's something else you'd rather do, or maybe you want to get good at it. Reading how to make knots is very difficult from a book. Yes, but if the pictures are good, that helps. Susan, you're about 2.5 to 3 hours from me. So Susan and Regina, now you can become best friends. It would be fun to do some macrame like we did back in the 70s. Yes, we can do macrame. I used to do macrame for, hey, you want to see what I did? See, there's this piece of braided rushes, like bulrushes, which are not cattails, but from the Lake. So I had a big piece of them, and I didn't know what to do with them. So I wound them around my rope for my curtain. Oh, I'm so smart. Okay. I got to write all these things down because I'm not going to remember who said what. So Temmie says, I do crochet, knitting, and macrame. Susan says, I don't do macrame, but I knit and crochet. I never mastered tatting, though. Tatting is so simple. Nice book. What is it called? And I said, it's Knots by Peter Owen. And it was published in Singapore. And this is the ISBN number if you want to look it up. 1-84573-212X. Oh, but down at the bottom it says G781845732127. I don't know what those mean. Anyway. Oh, here it is. ISBN 10 and ISBN 13. So this book was produced by Quantum Publishing, 1993, Quintet Publishing Limited. Edition was printed in 2006. ISBN 10 1-84573-212X. And then ISBN 13 is 978-1-845-373. That was 978-1-845-73-2127. Anyway, there we go. Oh yes, we're looking at what you said. What did you say? And that was what the book is called for Terry. Timmy, Nancy, get some cotton rope. You see, I have rope in that basket out there. I just have to go do it. I could make my own rope. That would be really cool if I just make my own rope. I have things like brushes, and cedar bark is the best. Boy, there's a lot of wind happening out there. You can't really see out any windows from here. The curtain fell down, which is messing that up. This one has a thing in the way. I should tip it down. This one has the television in the way. This one has all that stuff in the way. This is better. It used to have a big table there, but that's better. And that now has the table in front of it. And of course, I put my loom right out in the middle because I figured I'd just do it in the middle. Okay, what else has it been saying? Bum, bum, bum. And Turner said, let's go back to Turner. What did you say back up here? You do crochet, knitting, and macrame. And Regina said, message from Turner, you're correct. I started in high school when I was in high school, so that must have been about, see Regina, was that about macrame? Macrame and crochet. Yeah, high school probably, right? Okay, and that nylon lace come apart is terrible, but there is a trick to it, and that was a close hitch. Steal your clothesline, can't because there's metal inside of the plastic and it doesn't do any good. At home I use clove, bowline, and taut. So we did the clove, and the bowline is in here too. And what was the other one you said? And taut line. No, let's go look at the bowline. That is on page 38. That's a climber's bowline. And this is a bowline. So it could look like that. Or if it's done too loosely, it becomes a slip knot. And that is the bowline casting. Anyway, okay, so let's go back. That is it. Take care, everyone. Goodbye, Susan. That was at 1:51. That's 15 minutes ago. TYVM. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much, Hugs. By the way, get some cotton rope. Okay. Thanks, Tammy. Come back soon. Yes, I listened to you and Willem this morning. You two are my favorite. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here is a book with decorative knots from the same author. Ah, decorative knots. Yep, Sheep's Bend. Taut line is good too. So they had the sheep's bend in here, right? But I don't think the taut line was in here. And Tammy learned macrame in Girl Scouts. Turner says, I remember your cooking, soap making, going to the dump, recycle center. So many good memories we shared. Yeah, I'm going to do more of those things. And you know what I need to do? I need to go down to the pottery studio. And I need to finish making the wall and put shelves up and do some pottery in there. Okay, so now I got to go back up. There is a good wood project that can be made to help making rope easier. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, you have 3 spindles, and you get them each to be turning like this. So you'd have a little handle with a knob on it, and you're going like this, and so each of these 3 is turning. And then on the other end, you have another one which will turn the whole thing the other direction, I think, or something like that. I know they brought it to Mirror once. In fact, there's a video on it. It would be making rope, I guess. Nancy today, rope making tool or making rope at Mira. Yes, Turner, she's very talented and so talented. Yes. Oh, yep. Goodbye, Susan. Oh, that was at 2:02. You may still be there for 6 minutes. Everyone press like and post the site on your Facebook page. Hey, yeah, you could post it on your Facebook page. Oh, you did that. Oh, let's see. Oh, there's 7 people watching and 7 likes. You know, I never know how many people are watching. And then when it's over, it'll say like 90 people were watching at some point, right? Like they come in for 5 seconds or what. My favorite Christmas song. I love "O Holy Night." And I love Once in Royal David City. And It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. I don't like the songs. I like the hymns. I like the ones about Jesus Christ. I'm not really interested in the ones like I'll Be Home for Christmas. That's just a sad, sad song because I came to Canada when I was 21 and I never got to go home for Christmas. And sometimes, you know, not all the kids come home, not any of the kids. Now we're going to have to cancel Christmas. Oh, yours is Oh Holy Night too. Hey, well, we might not have to cancel if Willem comes up negative and I come up negative. But Friday is Christmas. And Thursday is Christmas Eve, so I could get tested on Christmas Eve. But only, like, I saw Willem. I didn't see my daughter, but he was with her, and she was perfectly healthy, and then she tested positive a few days later. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. No, 2 days later, she tested positive, so it comes on pretty quick, eh? Oh, Silent Night. I'm not so fond of Silent Night. But I do love Oh Holy Night. But what I'm going to do, I want to... Oh, he bought a home in Georgia. I was from Georgia. I was from Athens. It's quite a warm place. I don't think I would want to go into the heat anymore. I went to New Orleans once, and I went back to Georgia to take care of my mom, and I found... I couldn't stay past May. After May, it was just too hot. I'm not used to the heat anymore. It's too hot for me. I have the cold. I love the cold. People say, oh, no, it's so cold. Well, you see, when you're here, you develop a rock mark. Or you bought it at Rock Mart. No, I don't know Rock Mart. I've never heard of that town. But you know, when I lived there, I was living at home with my parents, northwest from Atlanta. Hotlanta, we used to call it. I must have bit my lip or something. It's not chocolate, and it's not a cold sore. I haven't had cold sores in many, many years, but you got to be careful if your lips start to dry out. Never wet your lips. Should probably put something on them to protect them. As soon as they start to dry out, then you can get a big crack there. Those are awful. Anyway, do we read everything? Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my violin. I should have hung up and started a new one, but then everybody's lost. I'd rather do everybody together. I'm going to try practicing my violin today. And did I say today? Why not? Hi, darling. Sounds like we have more wood. What are you doing?
We're going to shovel the driveway.
Oh, thank you.
But first I'm going to find some... When you warm these gloves off.
Okay. You can wear my... I have these wonderful wool gloves I just made, or mitts. I made them when I was in Vancouver. I made 2 pairs when I was there. That was pretty cool. The first pair was a little large, and I gave it to my daughter-in-law, and she needed to wear other gloves inside it. Then the second pair I made that were smaller, and she didn't need to wear gloves inside them. And I got to wear the big ones. It was pretty cool because, you know, these are city people that buy stuff, and that stuff I make is not usually classy enough. I make a lot of stuff like that little birch bark thing. I did so much cleaning yesterday. Look at that. I guess I should do a different video to do all that, shouldn't I? Look look, there's 8 thumbs up, but there was only 7 people here. How does that work? And now there's 6. Oh, I don't have a tree. They were going to come yesterday. My son and his son and wife, they are Muslim, or his wife is Muslim, and so they're raising their son Muslim, and they didn't want a Christmas tree. So they were going to come and, thank you, Regina. They were going to come over here and he was going to decorate my tree. But then I didn't get my tree out from underneath. And then on the way home from church, I was going to go get the tree out and put it up. And then we were going to decorate it. But then on the way home, I got a phone call that my daughter had just tested positive for COVID. She's double vaxxed. So hopefully she'll be okay. Hopefully she'll survive it. But I hope she's okay. But she's definitely bedridden now. She wouldn't like me telling you, so I won't tell you. Anyway, so we got that phone call, and then she had visited with my husband before she got sick. And so I got tested when I got back from Vancouver. But I guess you have to really wait 3 to 5 days before you get tested to know if you're positive. I don't know if a PCR test is different. But it's really hard to get tested now. I mean, jeepers. I thought they wanted to control the virus. Anyway, so, but you got to wait a few days. So you got to self-isolate. So then, because he had seen her, I wasn't home, which is a good thing because I went to see 2 other people while he was seeing her. And so if I had done that afterwards, yes, hearts to my daughter. And, but she is double vaccinated. So she should have, hopefully she won't die from it. That's it. She won't die from it. I don't know if she'll keep out of the hospital or not. But it's with the 2 vaccinations, you won't die from it. And with the booster, you won't go to the hospital. She's not boosted yet because she's young. Okay, so what were we telling? So I found out then, right after church, that she had tested, which meant that Willem could be positive, which means that I then would also be positive. So we got to wait, and on Wednesday he'll get tested. If he turns up positive, then I guess that's all we need to know, and Christmas is canceled. But if he's negative, we could still go through with it, right? Would I should get tested because I was in Vancouver and I was on an airplane. But you have to wait 3 to 5 days. The airplane was Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I could get tested any time because it's been 3 days. But you see, that would be from before. That would show that I didn't get it in Vancouver. But if Willem comes up positive, then anyway, blah, blah, blah. The contact tracing is really a horror story because I went to church, but we were going to go to the temple on Saturday, and it was snowing, but I wasn't thinking it was very bad, and so we prayed about it. We said we're going to go to the temple. Is this the right thing to do? I felt okay, but it's not like I didn't get a warm burning or anything, and so then we turned it around. And so I said, okay, we're not going to go to the temple. We should not go to the temple. We'll stay home. And this whole thing got, that's always the way I feel the answers. I always feel this burning, and it always starts at the bottom of my chin. Not really a burning. But anyway, so I knew that we shouldn't go. We might have been fine, but perhaps the testing, that would have been terrible if we had gone and taken it to more people. I'm not sure that these masks are really doing a lot of good. If masks and 6 feet of social distancing, I'm not sure that that's really enough with Omicron. I think you might need 15 feet and 3 masks or something. I don't know. It's so contagious. It's just flying through like wildfire. Really, I'm curious what the numbers are today. Anyway, so that's why I think that it's very possible that the 2 of us may get it. And he's had a booster. He's 72. He's had a booster, so he'll be fine. He won't go to the hospital. He might catch it and be sick, or he might not. And if I get it, I haven't been boosted, so my immunity is now down to 30% from the vaccine. But, and I'm pretty healthy, whatever. But who knows? Being healthy is not a sure thing with this at all. So I could get it. I won't die because I've had 2 shots, but I might end up in the hospital. And I I've got an appointment to get a booster shot, but it doesn't show up till the 20th of January. It's crazy. Oh well, it's a long waiting game, isn't it? Because they don't let you make your appointment. Yes, I have my natural immunity. And I don't know. I really have no idea. If that's that good, then why do so many people get it and die from it? And the Spanish flu in 1917, people would have been a lot healthier than we are. And the bubonic plague, if you think about it back then, way back then, there were no chemicals. Everything was grown organically. They got lots of exercise. They didn't eat bad food at all. And they didn't have pollution, bad air, bad water. There was no chemicals in the water. So unless, it was, there's just filth. Maybe if they had open sewers or stuff, that's different. But the bubonic plague went right through those people. They never had any pharmaceuticals. Their systems were pristine. And yet look at what the bubonic plague did. So we can think that our immunity system is fine, but are you willing to put your immunity system right up against it and see? There's a lot of people that have died that thought their immunity system was great. We keep getting report after report of people that are in the hospital thinking that they would never have gotten it, but they die. They're really, really feeling bad that they didn't get vaccinated or didn't follow the rules or whatever, and they're really sad about it, but 3 or 4 days later they die. It's kind of terrible. And of course it spreads it to the next people too. Anyway, and I know that there's a whole bunch of information out there which is exactly the opposite, and you can believe what you want to believe, because I'm not going to believe what you believe just because you believe it. I'm going to believe what I believe because I pray about things, and for me, I know. But I never get colds. I never get the flu. I don't get the flu shot because I don't think I need the flu shot. But this is not a flu. Flu kills maybe 60,000. This has killed, 108 or 800,000 in just one country? That's pretty bad. And now it's the people that are not vaccinated that are dying. Anyway, I didn't mean to get on that topic because I know that's a tough topic. And there's so much anger out there. There's so much hatred, the politics and the vaccines and so COVID and politics. I mean, I grew up, my parents said never talk about politics or religion. But those two things are huge topics right now, and everybody's got a very strong opinion about it. And it's just like I heard the bells on Christmas Day. Their old familiar carols play. I heard the bells so loud and deep. And then it talks about, I hung my head, and in despair I turned away. There is no peace on earth, I say, or something. For hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. If you carry on with all that hatred and anger and divisiveness, there will be a civil war. The people are armed. They are armed and angry. There will be a civil war, and it doesn't have to be a civil war, and you can't change other people. You have to love. Just you have to love. Love everybody. And you have to ignore the differences. You can't talk about politics or vaccination. I'm sorry, I did already. But you can't get divisive, because this war is going to slaughter a lot of people. And you got climate, which is attacking the world, and that's a whole nother ball of fish. And somebody said to me, there's no scientific evidence of it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, oh yes, the earth has gotten hot before. This just happens. It's not our fault. Well, good luck with that. But it took it millions of years to change last time, and it's changed in like 100 this time. So, And for yourself, if you give your plants poisoned water, what happens to your plants, right? You can't feed your plants salt water or vinegar or bleach. And look what we've done to the earth. Look what we've done to the environment. atmosphere, the oceans, everything is as polluted as can be. And now all the numbers are changing. You know, you get that ocean too hot, it absolutely will stop the flow of the air going around the earth. What's that called? The jet stream. Yeah, the jet stream is supposed to just kind of have a little wobble and keep going. Well, now it's made these big wobbles, or it's just slowing down because there's not enough difference in the surface, in the temperature of the land and the earth, the water. Water's supposed to be cold, and that's supposed to do a whole thing for it, but now it's not. So everything's getting messed up. You get a rainstorm that stays, and it 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 floods with feet of new water, of rain, you know, like bizarre. And you get fires. It gets hotter than it's ever been, and the town burns to the ground the next day. Like, oh my gosh, it was 105 degrees. Was it 105? It must have been more than that. I don't have a Christmas tree. I had one. I had a Christmas tree on there. It was a silver one, and I got it from the dump, but it broke and fell over, so I sent Willem back to the dump with it. From the dump it cometh, into the dump it shall be returned. I'm going to show you what I did. I did a lot of stuff here. I have to change the topic to knots and others. Knots and then chatting. And then tea. Shall we make tea? How long has this been going on? 71 minutes. I sure do talk a lot. Anyway. Sorry I got into my opinion there. So I guess it's time to do something else, like perhaps hang up. I'm going to work on my loom. I'm going to weave. I'm threading the heddles. It's really good. See all the yarn? It's not the right colors, right? Like I couldn't decide how to do this because I had used up all my orange and I couldn't divide it in half. And then I had dyed some white with the onion skins, and so this one is the light one, and that's the orange, and this one was brown thread, and and I just used them all, and I put them on like that, and I can't divide them. It's possible, but it would be a real mess, so I'm not going to. Anyway, so that's been sitting there for 2 years, is it? All through COVID, I haven't touched it. I took the other. This had my cedar bark skirt on it. No, that was the other one. This had this had the rush. Remember the rushes from the lake? I made a rug out of rushes. It's curled up. It's over there. You might be able to see it. It's in front of the window where the green stuff is in front of the window, and then it's standing up. I wonder if I can make it big. Look at that. That's so much simpler. Oh, wrong room. Wait a minute. I got to turn around that way. Got to get my feet through here. All right, so it's in the sunroom. Where is the sunroom? You're knitting hats. I just got rid of my knitting machine and my, piano, kitchen, sunroom. Oh, there it is, right there. So that thing at the top where it starts to get light, that thing at the top is the is woven with rushes. Anyway, that's what was, sorry, I don't want to look up my nose. So I knitted that on this big loom. This is a 45-inch loom. And I'm not sure how much, I guess the heddles is what matters from this end of the heddles. The things that hang down that I'm threading it through, those are called heddles. The little metal things. So from there, the tie over to this, I have a tape measure hanging at either side. That should be 45 inches, and I've got all this is 204 threads. Oh, sorry you're so big. 204 through. Yes, well, it would be nice to have a sunroom if it wasn't just full of junk. But it's become my tool room because we don't really have an outdoor tool room. It's a storage room. I mean, we do have one outdoors, but it's stuff you don't want it all outside. I was at my other daughter's, and she had deer outside her window. That's the beauty of not having a deck, is that you're on the ground and you can feed the deer right there. Look at how dirty my hand got. Did I make my face dirty? Let's just check that. And that was from my sticks and all that rope. Oh, you did. You ordered your seeds. Willem brought in all these trays. Where's the trays? There they are. See those big orange things? They have a reservoir at the bottom and then the dirt at the top. And so I brought them in earlier. I brought in all the Swiss chard. And so those are upstairs and in the other room. And this stuff, these are kale, and they're going up. They've already been out there since spring, right? I haven't done Christmas bread yet. I'm trying to decide how to do it. I can't have wheat, so my Christmas stollen, I could make wheat and everything for other family members. And you did 100 hats. Wow. Another huge bag. And these are knitted? Is that what you just said? Yes, knitted. I like knitting. Yeah, I'm liking mittens this year. This is my new thing, is learning mittens. I'm starting to get a bit of a sore throat and postnasal drip. Sorry. So I'm wondering, it could be COVID. And so I'm self-isolating, no stores, no anywhere. But I could just be sick. I mean, I could just have a cold because, I just change temperatures a lot. Vancouver's went up and down, up and down. Zinc. I do have zinc. No, I don't. I have silver oxide or something. Maybe I have zinc. I don't know. I have to ask Willem. That's a chemical, and or metal. He's into that. He's got a PhD in inorganic chemistry. Inorganic, not organic, as opposed to organic. Vitamin C, zinc, and elderberry. Ha! I have my whole jug of elderberry juice. It's elderberry oxymel. I took equal parts elderberries and honey and apple cider vinegar, and I let it sit. I made 8 gallons of it, and whoops. This is why I keep a tea towel on my chair. Oh, 20 minutes to make a hat. How productive. You must go through a lot of yarn. So this is the elderberry oxymel, which is, I put about maybe a half an inch in the bottom of this jar. This is Willem's Black River Pure Tart Cherry Juice jar. Then I fill it up with water, and I drink it all day. But drinking out of this bottle, you have to open your mouth very wide, because if you don't open your mouth wide, you'll get it down your cheeks. But then you end up taking such a big gulp of it that it's sort of like, Oh, you make elderberry, ginger, whole cloves, and cinnamon sticks. Simmer for an hour and then add honey. Wow. So I've already got let me see. Well, how could I do that without starting over? Elderberry, ginger, whole cloves, and cinnamon. So what I could do is I could simmer the ginger, whole cloves, and cinnamon, and then add it to my elderberry oxymel, because my elderberry is already honey and elderberries with apple cider vinegar. That would work. I saw this at that Christmas market. Did you see that video? It was at the Christmas market in, oh, nice. They give yarn to you. Yes, that's good. You're like a production factory. Isn't it neat to have a job that you want to do? You don't have to worry about whether you're getting paid for it. Simple. Oh, I love ginger tea. I would just take a jug of water and I would put some ginger from the kitchen. I would just sprinkle dry ginger in it, and I would add a little bit of sweetener. Yep, that's exactly what I did. Ginger spice out of the cupboard. Oh, and I saw something about how to peel ginger or how to clean ginger. How to peel it all. Forget what that was. Nah, I'm gonna have to look at it again. 50 hand knitted hots for premature babies. Do they have that many preemies now? I thought that medicine was getting better and better and that they, they could keep that from happening. I know I kept losing pregnancy. I had 7 miscarriages and some were pretty far along. One was at 16 weeks. It was a little boy. And he fit in my hand, and he had see-through skin and was all veins. And I could see he was a little boy. And he had fingernails, and he had a little mouth, and it was opening and closing. He was like a fish breathing in through the water, right? So I named him. His name was Abraham Henry. And one day I met him. He was full grown. He was an adult. He was dressed all in white. And he came to me and he stood beside me. And he looked at me and he looked at me like he loved me like I was his mother. The most amazing experience. Can't wait to raise him in the millennium. We'll meet again. That will really be cool, won't it? Anyway, what did you say about ginger? Let me see. I simmer my sweet ginger bits and drink it. Ah, yes, I used to eat sweet ginger. I used to take it and dip it in almond butter. It was so good. But it's sugar. I had to give it up. But you could use regular ginger. Hello, Mr. Willem. How's my sweetheart?
Pretty good. I just took a bit of acetaminophen.
Oh, are you not feeling well?
No, the hands are hurting a bit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And,
That's all right. That's not COVID. Can you smell? Can you still smell?
yeah.
Yep, I can still smell. Yep. That's the quickest way to find out. Just raise your arm and check. That's the quickest way to find out if you can smell, right, dear? I guess I gotta turn my chair back around. I got a little table here under my table. This is all gonna change here. I haven't finished making this area perfect. That has a DVD player and a VHS. So I'm gonna watch the home movies from my dad.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yeah,
indeed.
my aunt Virginia. She must be in her 90s now. Anyway, she was my dad's sister. Notice aunt, that's where that comes from. And their parents took home movies about them. They were reel-to-reel movies, big reels. 1 pound, 14 ounces? Oh my gosh. How far along were you? Anyway, so I have these home movies that my grandparents made. I don't know how they made home movies back then. But they're on big reels, the big old film strip. And then my dad had them put on VHS tapes. So now I'm going to put them in this VHS thing. And I wonder if you can put them onto CDs from that. Where you could just play them and video it with your phone. Oh, this is going to be cool. I think I've got all the wires. I got this whole rigmarole at the reuse center. I don't know if it works, but I hope so. People usually throw things away if they don't work. So we've learned some knots. Isn't that good? Yes, indeed. And the next on my list is going to be tatted snowflakes. Do you want to learn how to tatted snowflakes while I learn? People later that see these videos, if it's sort of like I'm doing too much not showing them what's going on, and how to do it. If I just get into doing it, that's no good. But these are the patterns. right? There's these snowflakes. So what I have to do is I have to pick one snowflake I really like. I like that one. And then I have to just start making it and make it over and over and over. Boy, these all look alike. Well, no, those don't. And make it over and over and over. Oh, look at those. Those are like double, double, double. 3-dimensional. That would be called double, double, double. Anyway, and then once I get one pattern, and I make the pattern, just like making my 35 pairs of knee socks. Once you make the pattern, you make it over and over and over and over and over, and you end up with a lot of whatever you made. But it's also really easy because you don't have to learn the pattern over again and again. You know, like, it takes a lot longer to learn the pattern than it does to make it. My goodness, my throat is getting bad. Maybe it's too much talking. Anyway, I'm going to practice my violin, and when I get good at these hymns, I'm going to play them for you. Okay. Well, I hope you like this very, very long rope making video. If only I knew how to split them. You know, I don't know how to do things like that. You could chop it and save just the first bit, and then upload that bit, and then you could... Oh, I missed something. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Oh, so he was 3 months early. So 16. Mine was 16 weeks. So 3 more months would have been 16, 22, 26, 30. So it would have been 30 weeks. So mine was 10 weeks earlier than yours. So that... They told me that one that was the age of mine had never survived outside of the womb before, so they weren't going to try. Why try? Why be the first one to do something different? Anyway, so they didn't try. So I'm glad yours made it. Mine had no lungs yet, so it wouldn't have worked, I guess. Unless you remember the test tube babies? There was a song once, in the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, we may see fine. Ain't gonna need no husband, ain't need no wife. Something about being born test tube babies. That's a good song. I'm gonna look it up and play it, find it out. Shall we, Willem?
What?
Never mind. He's not paying attention. He knows. It's like talking on the phone. He's got other things happening in his life. He's sleeping.
Just resting.
There we go.
Vegging. Sorry.
That's okay. One may veg when one is as old as you are.
Thank you, darling. Just wait, it'll happen to you.
No, I'll never get old. I'll never be as old as you.
Well, that might be true.
But maybe I'll surpass you. But I hope not. I hope we don't get COVID. Thank goodness you're boosted. Anyway, so we've talked about many things. I'm going to start doing tatting. And I'm going to drink this apple cider. And I'm going to get off this phone and stop talking. Oh, yes, I'm going to practice my violin. And I'm going to practice all those Christmas songs one at a time. And I'm going to practice each one until then I don't have to find all the notes. But once I do it by ear, right? So as soon as I can do it by ear and make it sound like it's sort of supposed to sound, it's not going to sound like it's really supposed to. I'm like, let's not get carried away here. But once you can determine what song it is and you could sing along, and the odd mistake won't throw you off because I won't have to stop in the middle to find the next note. Goodbye, Turner. Goodbye. Oh, goodbye, Susan. Thanks for coming. It's been awesome. I love it when you guys come and visit. Anyway, so I'm going to get that violin out. And then when I get those songs so I can actually play, maybe I'll have to show you one because I can't imagine getting one good and not wanting to show it off, right? Like show and tell, show and tell. Look what I did. Look what I did. I did it. I'm always so surprised when I do something that works. And yet nobody else is. My daughter, like, she thinks I talk about I'm always boasting or something. And I'm so amazed that it worked. Oh, Turner, you're so awesome. Thank you. That's right. Like and subscribe, or you'll never be able to relive this moment and others just about exactly like it. But you can always remember that you did it here last. You saw it here last. Okay, I think I do have some tatting videos on here too. Isn't that cool? Every time somebody wants a video, I say, oh yes, got a playlist of them. I don't think I have a playlist of tatting. I think I should probably make a playlist for it though. Jen, remember Jennifer today? Go watch her videos. She had little children. She had boys, 5 little boys whose name, no, 4 little boys whose names start with a T. And then she had a girl who wasn't started with, so I call her Tinkerbell because it goes right along with the other ones. But you probably remember them. They were in videos, weren't they? When she was the one that suggested I make Fiddlehead Pond. We dig it. And then she came up again, and her son would make lots of Tyler. These are all things that you could do for a job. Tyler, Tanner, Turner. Tyler, Tanner, Turner. Anyway, the next one I called Tinkerbell. Tinker. Tyler, Tanner, Turner. There's another one there. What's another one that starts with T, Willem?
I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything
Well,
now.
you'll let me know.
I'll let you know.
You got one? Anybody out there? Anybody? I'm taking requests. Words of names that start with T and end in ER. Words that are like things you can do. Tyler, Turner, Tanner. Okay, let's go through it. T-A. That would be Tanner. Tab.
They all start with T.
They all start with T. So it's probably not T-A. So it's going to be a different vowel. Taylor. Did I already say that? Okay, yeah. Okay, oh, is that right? His name is Taylor too. Yes,
Tyler,
you and...
Is it Tyler and I said Taylor? Is there a Tyler and is there a Taylor?
A Taylor. Maybe that's the name. Tyler, Tanner, Turner, and Taylor. Not Trevor. Because treving, what is treving? It's a job you need to do often. I'm going to go out and trev now. I wasn't supposed to be offensive. Tyler. So the first one was named Tyler. No, Taylor. Taylor, Tanner, Turner, and I can't even remember them all. And Tinkerbell. But her name is something else. I don't remember her name. Anyway, but she tats. She taught me how to make socks, and she taught me how to tat. And she had a loom that was all set up and ready. And she wanted some assistance with it, and so we wove. She came to my house, and she made tea towels on my loom. And she had bags and bags of fleece that she had spun. And she had dyed it all. She dyed it with Kool-Aid. She was so amazing. And she had jewelry, but she tatted. And then she tatted jewelry. And she taught me how to tat. And she taught me this pattern for wool socks. I used to go down there on my way to Georgia. I would go through Ontario and come out on the top of I-81 and just take it all the way down till it hit 77. Then I would take 85. I always used to think that they were right south of me, but really I had to go over and then down. You want to learn? Oh, Leanne, I have to tell you, I was in your Minecraft game last night, and I didn't really. I think Iowa girl was in it. Hold on. And she kept sleeping in a bed, and it said, all players have to sleep in a bed, but I couldn't because I was on survival, and all I had was some wood from which I made chests, and I made a crafting table, and I made an axe, and I made a shovel. And then I got lots of dirt, and then I got some bedrock. What's that called? Andesite or cobblestone or something. Anyway, I got some kind of a gray stone. And then I made some socks. Are very easy. And this was pair of socks I was going to make was going to go up to my knees, right? But then as I was making it, I was sticking my hand in. Oh, that was you. Oh, yes, I was there. Wait a minute, what did you just say? Okay, so anyway, I didn't feel like having to go over and have you find me, walk all the way to where I was, or ask you where you were and walk all the way. I just didn't feel like it. It was, whatever. For making socks, did you say something else? Yes, there's patterns. Oh no, well, if you switch to creative, but it was good for me because I had to be on survival mode. That was really good, and so I worked away and I dug a hole and I made stairs to get out of it. And I went around collecting lots of what do you mean speedy net loan, Nancy confirmation? Oh, you asked Susan. Ah, yes. Okay. You want to make, yes, you can. There's also a book. It's called Two Up, Toe at a Time, Toe Up, Two at a Time, or something like that. So you use a circular needle, and I have made videos on it. But use a circular needle, and you put the two ends of the needle side by side, and then you do this kind of a figure eight thing with one finger in the other. You have to kind of watch a video and a YouTube thing to see exactly what that pattern is. Not mine. And then you end up with, 4 or 8 or whatever amount of stitches you want over the toe. And you shove that aside and you do the same thing with the ends. You do a figure eight back and forth. You push them in. And so then you make one knitting needle longer and you start knitting. And your first row on one side has to be backwards. So you're not purling, you're knitting, but instead of going in the front stitch, you go in the back. So you do that for one side, then you come back up doing the regular thing, and you just go round and round and round, and you add on at the corners, both ends of each sock. And it's perfect because when you add on, if you add on all the way across, this sock always matches that sock, and you don't later have to go back and count rows and see, let's see, which row was that? Was that the 5th row? Which row am I on? Oh, I need another row. How many did I need? Which row is this? That's just a lot of trouble. But if you have 2 on at the same time, you can just go right across and back and just keep going around and around, and they just get bigger according to how you add on. And then you just keep going. And if you want to make a mitten, you only have to go to there. That's where. And then you just put a whole bunch of your stitches, you just put them onto a crayon or a pencil or whatever, Sandy. What?
I'm up again.
Goodbye, darling.
Yep.
Safe shoveling. I guess we have to get that trailer out because I have to take the snowblower. But we can't do that until, we should probably get it on there because if we have a big storm while we're quarantining, at least it'll be on there and we can have it, whatever. It's a circular needle, so it's a needle, a half a needle, and a half a needle with a piece in between. You can get wooden ones with in between, and you can get, or I think it's always a little plastic thing in between. Oh yes, we have lovely snow. It's only 3 inches. What happened there? What have I done? What have I done? Yeah, it's only 3 inches. You see on the railings. 10 to 3, it's getting dark. Isn't that bizarre how it gets dark so early at Christmas time? And the ice storm, it was the first week in January. The ice storm of '98, back in the back in prehistoric times when we didn't have water. We had to drink Coke. This is where you turn on the piped-in laughter, right? I've been watching this show called Mom, and it's a terrible show. I mean, it's all a terrible show, but it is so funny. Okay, let's go back. What are we seeing here? Yeah, so I had a little bit of fun in creative, but we should meet up. But I should learn. I mean, it took a long time doing creative before I finally got so I had all this stuff I could use. Okay. You would love to see things on the game making things from wood. Wait a minute, let me start that over. Nancy, I would have loved to see you on the game making things from wood. Huh, your perfect item. Making things from wood. Well, the best thing I made from wood, I think, is like these, this bench right here. I just whipped it together, and it's really a good bench. Now, I made all these other little stools here. A little table. I decided I should have one by every chair outside on the deck, and of course I had little groups of chairs, so let's go back to see what you said. We have snow. Knitting looms are good for slippers. I use 4 needles, double pointed. Yeah, I can't figure out other items. I'm getting too old to learn those kind of new things, perhaps. Unless I wanted to learn. Uh-oh, now you're seeing my lip. I must have bitten it or something. Hey. Hey. Okay, you can't look at that one. That's a zit. You can look at this one, though. So be careful. Like, when you're looking at me, never focus on the zit. Always just see the bite mark. Maybe I have to go like this and I can look at you out of the side of my mouth. I know, I could talk like this. Yes, well, actually, maybe that's how I got it. I think it's just exactly where my tooth is. Let me see. I'm seeing what you said. Yes, we have snow. Knitting looms are good for slippers. I use 4 needles, double pointed. Yes, I'm so glad I made it home okay, too. Now we're just seeing if we've got COVID or not. The time change I can't handle. It gets dark so early. I know. But you know those lights. You get this big light. Like it's like, I don't know, maybe $30 at Walmart. Maybe some 19 or something. But anyway, you turn it on. Sorry to show you my dusty fingers. That's really blowing cold air on my hands. I was going to stop this video, wasn't I? What was I thinking? That was at 73, and look at where we are now, 103. This is so much more fun. I could never sit and watch a video that was 103 minutes long. But if I was going to sit around and have a visit with somebody and I knew that I was part of the visit, then I would do it. Like I would do a Zoom. What do you think? Should we do a Zoom? Wouldn't that be fun? Where we could all see, oops, now what's wrong? No, where'd you? Wouldn't it be fun if we do a Zoom? We could do that, totally. I would have to host a Zoom. I've never hosted a Zoom before, but Willem has, so he could show me. And we could do a Nancy Today Zoom, and I could maybe even plan. I don't know about that. That's hard work planning. We could choose a time and we could have a Zoom. And I could tell you all here when we're going to do it. And it could be like a few days ahead of time, and I'll keep reminding in every video. Now, don't forget the Zoom. It's only 1:55. Yes, because you're further west, and I'm closer to the sun. Actually, in distance, oh, you're still here, Susan. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad. Yes, we might as well never say goodbye because it's not ever over, is it? You know, I get off of here sometimes and I start doing something else. I think, oh, I should bring everybody along. And so I turn it back on and then I do something else. And then I start to think, Nancy, you can't keep making this many videos. You're gonna overwhelm the system, overwhelm the time allowance of people. I've been going through the bookcase in the kitchen and I've been sorting out my books. I have the best reference books. Oh my gosh, I've got like so many awesome books. It starts with needlework, and I only have 2 of them. And then it goes to knitting, and I got a whole bunch of them. And then it goes to crocheting, and there's only a couple of them. And then it goes to tatting, and there's like this many tatting. You need the chatting, like being on here. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good reason not to hang up, right? That's why I better not do anything else. Or I could, but I'll have to take you with me. I'll never chop this up, you know. This is all going to come out as one video. Some people make those little black dots along the bottom where you can go to that number and you get the next video, next section. 3:30. Yeah, we were on that mountain. I'm glad we're remembering this trip because it was a great trip. We were on that mountain snowshoeing. You remember? No snowshoeing. It was, I didn't take videos on that part. I took videos coming across the suspension bridge. Do you remember that? It was up above. You could look down on Howe Sound, Howe Sound, which is, I don't know, an hour north of Vancouver, up Highway 99 North. Can you believe it? I know which highway. That's so cool. Oh, yes, your heart surgery. Yes, they don't have a date for that yet, do they? I hope that people, you know, it's too bad we don't have as much hospital system as we thought we would once need. Yeah, if we had another whole hospital system, then all these surgeries, which are so important, could go on. But they can't use all those people. And you know, they've got like this huge shortage of nurses everywhere. First, people were saying, oh, they, you know, what, but there were some that burned out. And then there were a whole lot of them that were getting, that, well, see, in Canada, in Ontario, it's really hard to get full-time. And they don't want to give you full-time because then they have to pay you all your insurance, your hospital, or your benefits is what it's called. Yes, Susan, I'll pray for you too. Dear Heavenly Father, please watch over Susan when she has her surgery and help her that everything will go well, and she'll recover well, and that she'll be better than she was before her heart starts having any problem. And please preserve her so that we can all be together, unless it's thy will that thou hast her first, and then I understand. But please help us to be able to have her for a long time yet. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. You're welcome. I love praying. I think it makes my countenance brighter when I pray. Do you think so? I'm sorry, I have to make this terrible snorting sound. Pretend there's pigs under. Oh, look, there's pigs under the table. Oh, they're gone now. Sorry. The way I transition from one topic into the next. Yes, what exactly, what do you want to tell? What exactly is, like, are you getting, there's triple heart bypass and quadruple heart bypass, but they seem to really be good at that. Do you know that the leader in our church invented, he was one of 4 or 5 people, they were a group that invented the heart bypass machine? Isn't that cool? I don't think heart surgery is too bad anymore, except if you're watching television, because you know you have to have the person die, because otherwise what are they going to be worried about? But that's television. And just like the Cowboys and Indians and Geronimo shows, and how that was pretty different than real life, but I don't know what real life was like, so I just imagine that it might have been different, but it's probably pretty close. But anyway, but all the if only I could stay on the same topic. We'll see, there's a new topic. So tatted snowflakes may be in my future, and yours too. That is one other kind of knot. Isn't that cool? They're all little knots. Susan, they are so more advanced now. My mom had a triple bypass over 30 years ago. She lived long after. Dementia took her heart, her life. Her heart was great. Oh, you have an aneurysm and a valve. Now, is your aneurysm in your head? Is it a brain aneurysm, or is there such a thing as a heart aneurysm? It must be a heart. Let me go back. What was the other thing? No, not dementia. or on the one before that? A valve replacement. Oh, interesting, a valve replacement. Well, you saw how quick I changed the valve on that pipe so I could water my plants. You know, that was a piece of cake to me because I'm familiar with plumbing. But this guy, he's familiar with all the plumbing being made out of veins. And he knows how to fix them, how to clog everything right up, nothing's going through. So, so many different, not time to get bored. And sometimes you might even hear the final end of a sentence. Wouldn't that be good? Yes, I have to write it down, Susan, so that I remember later that I said that I would pray for you. But my journal's in the bedroom, and it's cold in here. My feet are freezing. Oh, now my body's stiff. Look, there I am. Let's get something out in here. That's a very hollow sound, isn't it? He always puts this right there so that I will trip over it and break my neck. But so far, it hasn't happened. See, there's my little creche. This is the Savior. I'm going to put him under the Christmas tree because the gifts go under the tree. And what greater gift have we ever received or will ever receive or is there than the Savior who gave us the gift of eternity, of being alive again with the resurrection and being with them. Man, what better gift is there? Anyway, so he goes under the Christmas tree. And there's the setting. This is my parents. I had this when I was, or they had it. It was never mine. And now I'm seeing how it was made, you know. I could make that. Look at all that moss. This has got some problems here. And it wasn't even made like it was supposed to be proper. I guess it's supposed to be that way. Oh, let me go back. What did you say? Oh, yes. No wonder you're knitting like a crazy woman. I would knit like a crazy woman if I were a crazy woman, but then... Oh, wait, I am a crazy woman. Let's do something with this. Oh, that's the antidote when you're cold. Let's get that foot closer. Oh, it's going through. Now the other one. This is a little fire hazard. Oh, feel it now. Feels warmer now. Okay, let's get some wood. This is a knot making video. Are you aware of that? Remember when it was about making knots? That's right, Leanne. You weren't here back then. Way back at the beginning. Beginning of time. Oh, this is heavy. Ugh. Darn. And this one is heavy too. Ugh. How pretty it is out here. So cold and clear. So wild. Except that birdhouse there. And that hammock there and that hammock there. I think the Christmas tree is just down in there somewhere. Look at my mess. I gotta deal with all that. Or we could just look at how pretty it is outside. I think we'll look at how pretty it is. And see, I tried to shovel, but I didn't have the whatever to be able to just stick with it and do every little bit. So now I got, but it's not ice. It didn't melt enough to become ice. Right now my feet are thawing. The snow on the bottom of my feet is thawing. I have to do that funny foot trick again. Oops. I don't usually put them in that far. I like them sitting up on the edge so that the stuff will get under the air. There we go. I should probably fill this up with water, you know. But you know, I'm going to have to fill it up with the or maybe, is the softened water good? Maybe it's okay. I'll put softened water in it. I'm turning it around. Yes, no better gift. The Savior is an awesome gift, isn't he? Look at my view. Can you believe that? Having gone to Vancouver and seen 1 million people, and I mean 1 million people over the last 15 days, I no longer find it boring to just look at something as simple as nature, which is definitely more complicated than the whole city crop. Did I say that? I didn't mean to say that. We're filling this up. Sometimes things fill up faster if you... Oh, that's full enough. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You would like to have a wood stove, Susan? I have one in the yard you could have. But it's going to need to be really redone. All right. But now, let's make it more fun. Let's go put some cinnamon in it. Cinnamon. Oh, I know. They're up here. Cinnamon sticks. No. Oh, yeah, that's cinnamon there. Never hang things up so that they're too high to reach. You can look out the window while I struggle with these cinnamon sticks. One. Is one enough? I bet it will be. Let's stick her in. There we go. All right. I'll turn everything around here. I did a lot of cleaning yesterday. Do you want to see all the things I cleaned? So, in the bedroom, look at that. I sorted that. I got a nice rug I made on here, and that's fleece. And look, everything is all nicely... Those are thick sweaters, and those are ponchos. That's a shawl thing, and these are thick neck ones, whatever, turtlenecks, and those are thinner turtlenecks, and those are pants. And look at that mess. This is next. I have to deal with it. Oh no, it's getting snow on it. The purpose of bringing it under here was not to get snow on it. It's made of cattails. See, if you look down there, you can see from here, this is where I sleep, so that's my view. So you might see on the top of, wow, this is really zooming. This is amazing. Okay, let's hold it steady. Right down there is a telephone pole. You see that telephone pole right in the center? A car went by? Okay, right at the base of the telephone pole is the top of the teepee. And there's a red flag on it. And sometimes it's blowing. There's also a very short telephone pole, which is gray on the left. The tall black one, wait a minute. One is dark gray, one is brown, I guess, light brown. And there goes the red flag. Can you see it? Just as that, maybe I have to get down a little lower so that stick isn't in the way. I'm seeing it from way up here. Okay. So anyway, that's the top of the teepee with all the grass hut and all that grass hut affairs down there. There is a dome you can also see, which is right now in the very center of the camera. Anyway, And then from there you can see this is the teepee on the island. No, the Serenity Dippity Pond. And that's Nancy's grandma's cottage. And it's got a little wetland right in front of it, which is a hole I had them dig so I could have pretty stuff in it. And then just behind that, the white stuff behind that, that is the side of Horseshoe Island where it's built up. See, right to the left of the teepee, there's a few white dots. That's water. That's all frozen in there now. Anyway, and so go back over here. There's Grandma's cottage. And then Alder Teepee is, that's not it. There it is, Alder Teepee. So you're going around the moat there. So this is a corner of the moat. So you've got Grandma's cottage and the back of Horseshoe Island, or the ring around Horseshoe Island. And then there's Alder Teepee. I'm going to take the fabric off that. I'm going to thatch it. Anyway, and then you just get back into the woods here, which is Terrarium Hillside. What a lot of junk. Why do I have so much crap for? It's just that the crap I have takes up room. Well, anyway, I'm going to do that when I'm all bundled up and feel like it. And I need to finish this cattail chair. I wonder if it'll survive outside. Maybe I could just put it on the deck. I just don't want it. This is my view, you know. I sleep here, I wake up, I look out the window, and that's the view. You know, I got to improve the view. It shouldn't have, those are bathrobes from my mom and my all of them. I've worn this since probably 40 years I've worn that. And this is hers, which she wore forever. And this other one is also hers, which she wore forever. And then this is another one, which is quite crappy, which I never really liked it when she wore it, but look, it's moving. It's breathing. So, anyway, improving the view. So I lie here and I look out. And I don't want to see any of this plastic stuff or tables or stuff. I want to be able to see out in the view and see all that awesome stuff. 2 teepees. Actually, I'm seeing 3 teepees from here. That's pretty cool. Like there's Alder Teepee is here, and Horseshoe Island Teepee is there, and up there is, used to be called Sedge Meadow Teepee. If you look it up on this device, FaceTime thing, type in SEDGE, Meadow, and Teepee. I always spelled it TIPI. Hey, I think I can see that flag again. So the sun always rises right out there. Lately, you know, then it gets way over there, but it never, you know, this is where I always see it. Or at least all the clouds change in this spot, because this is where I lie down. And of course, it doesn't bother to get up anymore until very late. Sunny skies, sleeps in the morning. This is all fleece. I should try and, well, I think I felted it, so I think it's just good for stuffing now. I'm amazed at all the uses of fleece. My goodness. This book goes upstairs. This is Canada for you, eh? Midnight Bear. So the bear has babies, and it's always dark. And it's always dark. And there's a snowshoe hare, and it's always dark. And then there's the white Arctic foxes, and it's always dark. And Nanook is his name. And he wants to see the sunshine. And he asks everybody, nope, you have to wait. The sun? Exclaimed an Arctic tern who had flown the farthest of any bird and had seen nearly all there was to see. Do you know, I have come all the way from the South Pole to find it, and soon it will be coming up over that hill. I love my teepees. And so he goes away, and he's waiting for the sun to come up, and then he goes out and he sees this colony of walruses on the island. For Nanook had walked so far in her search for the sun that she had reached the edge of the sea. We can't really tell you much about the sun, said the chief walrus. That would be him. My hands are really dirty. Except that it is very bright and rises and sets very far away. Very far away, agreed a beluga whale. See, this is Canada. You could swim for a whole year and you would never reach this place where the sun sets. Please come and play, Nanook, begged her brother. Anyway, so after this comes... She could go no farther, so she stopped and played. They wrestled and roiled, and they fell asleep. And when Nanook awoke, the world seemed completely different. The snow was whiter. Her fur was whiter. The sky was bright blue. And in the middle of it was a great golden globe that dazzled her eyes when she tried to look at it. So that's the sun, cried Nanook in delight. Her brother was so excited, too. For now they could feel the warmth of the sun on their faces and see its light glistening on the snow all the way up the distant hills. Let's go and see all the animals again in the sunshed, said Nanook. Her brother smiled. Come on then, he said, I'll race you. Can you imagine waiting a whole long months and months and months before you ever see the sun? And so here they were. This is the Arctic hare and lemmings, snowy owls, Arctic foxes. You see a pattern here? Polar bears, belugas. What do these have in common that are not in common with the rest of them? Who can guess? And walruses, and Arctic terns, and muskoxen. So that's what you find when you get way up there where the sun don't shine. So when someone tells you to put it where the sun don't shine, you're going to have to book an airplane. That's all there is to it. I think I should go. It's been very nice. And I'll be back, and I'm sure you will too. It may be moments. Bye. Remember, you can do this at home. Results may differ. Oh wait, I gotta check and make sure I saw everything. Oh, look at this. I'm never going to get off here. We're going to have to go and read all these messages. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. I love that book. I had to read it to my cousin. Okay, so here we are. Didn't go. Said I was going to go. How many times do I do that? Okay, it's just so nice to have somebody to hang out with. Susan perfectly said, Lowell, that's why I'm knitting like a crazy. Yes, exactly. Sometime I'm going to have to swing in my... Yes, you must have a swing in your house, Leanne. Oh my gosh, they're so good. It helps your whole body. Your fingers, your palms, your wrists, your elbows, your arms, your shoulders, your whole back, your butt muscles, your legs, your stretching your feet and your toes. Your whole body is involved in swinging. It's the best. I don't think it's any different than swimming. I mean, if you've got some way to hold on to those ropes, I had to tie knots in mine because somehow it was too slippery. That's what I made a video when I was in the teepee yesterday, or the day before. I thought I had uploaded it. Okay, what did it say? So you're going to have a swing. The embers. I would love to build a house and have the trees inside so I can have a tree swing. Yes, well, if you go on Minecraft, you can do just that. You can have your swings inside anyway. I got to go fix that curtain. Sounds like effort, doesn't it? Let's see what else do we say. Don't catch your toes on fire. Oh, yeah, I was going to warm up my feet. Like, again, after I got snow on them. Are they wet? Yeah. A little bit. Not too much. I love the smell of a wood stove too. But sometimes you get these funny smells, like it means that the wood stove is a little too hot and the paint behind it, or, about the side of your chair. You start to smell these odd smells. You have to start rearranging things. You would be boiling water for tea constantly. Yeah, I should do that. You missed the teepees. Yeah, I was saying I was out there shoveling the deck yesterday, or the day before. No, yesterday after church. We had all this new snow, and no snowblower didn't work. But as I shoveled those big, huge stairs that don't go anywhere except the teepee, my front steps go right into the yard. on the Teacup Trail. That's what the big stairs are for. You have to come in the driveway, go down the Teacups Trail, go all the way around, and then you can enter in. But there's no door when you get to the top of the stairs. No, because that's a bathroom, and that would like impinge on someone else's idea. We won't mention names. You can take names though if you want. You can just think you know who it is. Okay. So wait a minute. So Susan left. Bye, Susan. Later, Susan. Bye, Susan. Have a great evening. Oh, yeah, it's 20 after 4. Take care, Susan. I know I have to go myself. Laundry is calling me again. Regina. Ooh, laundry. I know it reeks of effort. I have a lot. I have a big pile. I'm trying to see if my pile is bigger than yours. We should have a dirty laundry pile contest. Everybody can measure the height of their dirty laundry pile and submit it. It's a great idea. How high is your dirty laundry pile today? You don't have to take a picture of it. You don't have to, who wants to? Doing flips again. We have a trampoline for that, you know. Had to plug in your IV. It just totally took away my thoughts. I say we just have a play day, no working. We could go back in Minecraft. I really like the bathroom I built at your house, at your granddaughter's area. And so I went and built one at my place. You know, there's these videos on how to make your house look better, you know, like use stairs upside down and they can be those fancy edges, and they really make a difference. Like my son made this big black platform with a white fence around it, and you can't see anything. And so then he made another one that came out above it. And so I put pillars down and I decorated the pillars with those, you know, those trims. No, I don't think I am leaving too, but I was thinking to, but I've actually, now I'm back here at the wood stove and I think we're in. I mean, what am I going to do? Work? What were we talking about? A play day. Oh, yes, this. So I took this. It was just flat black, and then it had a white fence around it, a white wall around it. And so I made tables. I made beautiful white tables with chairs, 4 chairs around each table. And then I had a lantern or something above them. Oh, I made these big, beautiful lanterns from the ceiling, suspended it, or maybe it was a series of them. And it became a big dining room, like a restaurant, with these 6 big tables. Oh, and then I put a Christmas tree in the middle. I built a yellow Christmas tree in the middle. I think it's snowing again. Is it snowing, Willem?
No, I think so. Not yet.
I think it's snowing. I have really bad eyesight, though. If only I could do this with them. Make tea and tat. That's what you're going to do now, Susan? I should just make tea and tat, too. I could just tat. I could look at these patterns and figure it out. Wouldn't that be a good idea? I could choose one. Let's turn it around. You tell me which one. Okay, so these, I'm going to number them, so you have to remember the number. Otherwise, you'll have to say, that one. No, the one before. No, that wasn't the right page. Okay, so here we have, we're going to do it like clockwork. And after we go around the clock, we'll go to the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now, of these, I think I would like this one better. This is delicate, but I'm thinking of on a Christmas tree. Now, this might be cool too. But it's going to be like forever. 1, 2, 3. So it's like you're making a small one, a medium one, and a big one. So you're making 3, and I bet you're going to have them on the other side too. 1 or 5. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, 1 or 5. But I think I'm going to lean toward 1 because it's going to be easier to memorize that than memorize this. But this is pretty straightforward. This, you just have to memorize, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those picots, and however many are in between, that's always going to be the same number. And so you've got from that one to the next one, and that one to the next one. Or maybe they're going here. Where does this go? There to there to there to there. And then I don't know what happens. You'd like number 1 best? Yeah, let's do number 1. So this is pretty easy. You start in the middle and you've got picots going to the inside. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you make these circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you're making this one, then afterwards so it's going like this. This is the way your tatting is actually working. And so you must have a picot going out on all these, or no, you just attach it. And then you finish that and you have to start again, I guess. So then you've left all these picots. So you make 3 picots for each of these circles. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches of picot. 1, 2, 3 stitches of picot. 1, 2, 3 stitches of picot, and then 5. So you go 5 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 5. And you do that all those times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But as you do it, when you get to the 5 stitches, you're going to connect to the last to that picot, right? And so you go 5, connect to the picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 5. And then you're going to tat, tat, tat. What is that? 2 stitches. And then you're going to do another circle. 5 attached to that picot, 5 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 5 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 5. Sounds like potatoes. Anyways, you do that all those times, and then you start again. And this time, you start with this loop. So you go 3 picot, 5 picot, 5 picot, 3, and then this is attaching to that last picot. And then you do it again. You go 3 and you attach to that picot. Oh, and now they got stuff there. I think they're putting beads on them. And then you put those beads on if you feel like doing that. And then you go 5 and attach to this picot, which is attached to this one already. So 5 picot, 3, and you're attached to that picot, and then you go 3 and attach to that picot, 5 picot, 5 picot, 3, and you attach to back to that one. And then you do, this is what, 2 picot, 2 and attach to that picot, 2 picot, 5, and you're attaching it to that picot. And then you go, is that 5 or 3? Anyway, it looks like 3 from now, but and you attach to this picot, and then 2 and make a picot, and 3 and attach to that picot. Then you start here and you go 3 and you attach to that picot, 5 make a picot, 5 make a picot, 3 attach to that one. Then you go 2 and attach to that picot, and that's got 3 beads there, so I guess that's 3 picot, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 3, and then you attach to this picot, which is attached to that, and then you go up here, 3 attached to that picot, 3, and I guess you're putting beads on all the time, picot, 2 attached to that picot, and come up here, 2 attached to that picot, 5 make a picot, 5 make a picot, 3 attached to that picot, or maybe that's 2. I don't know. They're the same all the time. Anyway, and you just keep doing that. Oh, and this must be where it's, well, anyway, these 5 and those 5 seem to be very close together. That could be where the start was. Anyway, that's how you do it. Now, that seems pretty straightforward because you've just got to remember 5 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 5. And do that all around there. And then you do whatever those 2 different ones. You've got this one and this one, which are kind of flipped opposites, right? This one, and then a big one. This one and this one, a big one. This one and this one, a big one. This one, a big one. This one, a big one. This one and this one. And so that's all you have to do. This, however, is very different. Okay, we'll make that one. Let's look and see if we got any others we like. Anybody else say something I missed? Okay. A ruffled snowflake. So that's number 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I like number 4. That's very pretty. Look at how big those picos are. That would be pretty easy. You start with these small ones. A picot is a loop. So all this is you're making loops. Or you're making a half a knot. You make a half a knot and another one, and you have to always, you pull the wrong thread. Like when you make a knot or a loop, you pull it one way, you have to pull it the other way so they all slide. All loops are facing one direction. And so then when you make one of these loops, you just leave it really big. That's all it is. These are all shortened, but this one is on purpose, not pulled tightly. That's all it is. So this would be very easy. There's very few things going on. Let's compare that to number 1. I had a lot of really thick ones, a lot of work going on there. Many, many little knots. This one has many fewer knots and yet has filled up the space because they're big. That kind of looks nice. I think that might look good on a Christmas tree. Maybe I like the other one better because it doesn't look like as much work. What about this one? This kind of looks like a clown. I have no idea why I think that way. Well, that was my finger in the way. No wonder. I was trying to move whatever was in the way. Yes, the stars are pretty, aren't they? All right, this was another one. Don't like that one. Not for what we're going to do. Minaret. Snowflake. Now that one, it's not as much work as this one. This has 2 rows. But it looks as good. So did anybody vote on any of these? So we have, we'll say page 9. Or we should probably say that, page 9, top of 10. Oh, that would be 10A, 10B. 10A, 10B. And then we have 11. I'm leaning towards 11. 12, which is also very nice. 13. Ooh. That looks like that would be beautiful if you made it in one color and attached it to a piece of clothing of a different color. So we're on 12. So there's 12A and 12B and 12C. That's little. 12C, that's very little. You're going to crochet, not sure what yet, but you'll definitely be purple. You're welcome. This is tatting. Okay, so then this is page 13A. And 13B. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Very complicated, though. Have to look at the book all the time. 13B. 14. Leanne's life. Yes, Leanne, you have an awesome life. When did you used to crochet? So this is 14A. This is showing it's the way it's the design, I guess. No. Yeah, so you join the round. So you have to do one round and then you stop your thread and then join. I find that tying them together is always the most difficult part. Okay, now we're on page 15. So we have 15A. We have 15B. Oh, that's kind of pretty, isn't it? That reminds me of a bunch of clowns. 15B. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Now we have 16A. What a mess. It's 3D, I guess. 16A and 16B. I wonder if they're round like a snowball. And this is page 17. This is another really small one. Like good for the lapel of a coat or a collar or something. Or you could put them all over your dress. I made butterflies once, and I made 100 of them and put. Remember, I was with what's her name? She used to be on here all the time. She's the one I got the Janet. She lived in the mountains in Georgia near Camp. What is it? Near Camp Echoey, but near. What's that camp there? There's Vogel, and there's another one. It wasn't Vogel. It was the one before it. Anyway. So here we go, page 18. Yeah, so what was I saying about Janet? Oh yeah, I was at her house in the mountains in Georgia, and she was just she thought it was great that I was there, and she says, no, you don't have to leave, and so I just kept staying, and I don't know how long I stayed there. Naturally, I was on the way to Georgia or back. I wasn't in a hurry to do all that. These are kind of interesting, aren't they? You really have to pay attention to your measurements when you're making those picots. It's so easy to end up with many different sizes. Well, you see, I guess she's got many different sizes there. Not too badly. I guess they're supposed to be bigger at the top. But those aren't. Anyway, so that was 19A, 19B. Now what's this one? 19C. So this is different than those. 19C. I don't understand why they put her in the hospital because she had Alzheimer's. Yeah, my mom had Alzheimer's. I guess our bodies are not meant to stay perfect forever. I mean, the only way we can get to go home is if our bodies fall apart. So it has to happen, and it's a terrible thing that whenever it happens, everybody around has to be without them. So this is page 20A. Oh, she fell and doesn't remember. Oh. Well, I don't remember a lot of things. 14B. Poor you, Leanne. 14B. So, oh no, that was 20. 20B, sorry. That was 20A and 20B. And here we have 21. Why don't we have a prayer for Leanne? Dear Heavenly Father, please bless Leanne that she might feel the embrace of thy closeness, and that she might be strengthened and in her loss, or the beginning of part of a loss. Bless her that she will have be able to have a schedule and do things and keep her mind busy, and bless her that she'll have peace and see thy hand in all things, and bless her that she can see what good can come from this, if that's possible. It's hard to find those things. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. What was that big sound outside? All right, so we go back. So here's page 21. This is 21A. It's the only 21. '21 is very similar to 20. Oh, this has a flower in the middle, and this has a star in the middle. 6-pointed star, and it has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 6-pointed star inside of a 6-pointed star. And this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-petaled flower inside of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's got a 6-petaled flower inside of a 12-pointed star. Oh yes, a make work project. Let's see the next one. 22. I think we've seen stuff like this before, haven't we? And then 23A. That looks very fancy, doesn't it? And 23B. Oh, isn't that pretty? That reminds me of something in the ocean. Like an octopus. I saw an octopus in Vancouver Aquarium. That was amazing. Comes out every 2 weeks, and he happened to come out when we were there. So you see, your picos would have to be different sizes. And as with all tatting and with crocheting, you start in the center, and you're making your, oh, I touch the camera to make it focus, not touch the picture. So as with all of your tatting, so you hang a loop around your 4 fingers, and you hold it with your thumb. Then you take the shuttle with your right hand, if you're right-handed, and you stick it through and go around, and then you make a loop, and you go through the loop, and then you do another one just like that, then another one just like that, and you keep shoving them over, and actually you do them 2 together. Yeah, so you make one side of a loop. I wonder if it has how to tat at the beginning of here. Yeah, so you make a loop around your fingers, and you hold the shuttle. And then, that's neat, it looks like the balls. So you're holding it like that. You pass. So the shuttle goes in. Oh, first you're holding the shuttle. Okay. Then it goes into the hole. And then it's figure 2, figure 3. And then it comes out of the hole, and see, you've made a little loop right there. So it went under and came out over, and then it went through the loop. Okay, and the next one, so you've got the one where you go under and pull it over. No, 2, 3. Oh yeah, so you go under, and then you've made this big loop, and you see what you're going to do is you're going to bring it out and then go through that big loop. So you've got this big loop you're holding open with your fingers, and then you go under this and pull it out. And then, you see, so you went, the loop is coming over all your fingers. See, this is your loop going all over your fingers. It's just you're holding your shuttle, and this is the shuttle thread. So this is your first loop, the main loop. You're holding it there. You put all this over your fingers, and you go inside the loop, and then you come out of your new loop. And then so that's what that is. And then you pull it tightly. And then this time you do the opposite. You're hanging your loop, and then you go over and come out. So this one you're going over and come out under there. This time you're going over and come out. See, this went between the loop. This is on the side of it. No, how did that went? This went over, came up from the bottom and went through, and this went down from the top and went through. That's how it goes. So you make a loop over your finger. You go under the original loop and through your new one. This one you go over the original new loop and through your new one. That's how you do it. And then those two, they will line up like that, and you pull them tight and there'll be one thing and they'll slide across. But when you're tightening it here, you have to be sure to flip it. You don't want it to turn into just a regular knot, so you don't pull both of them at the same time. So you're only going to pull the shuttle thread, and the rest of them are going to flip over and look like that. Okay, and so then you start your next one. So to do a picot, see you've gone over and under, or under and over, and then here you've got one of those under and overs, one of them, and you've got another one, and then you're going to make another one beside it, but before you do, you make this big loop. Then you do, and then you push it together, and then it'll turn into a picot like that. Here, let me show you. So you go like that, and then when you push them together, it turns into a picot. So if you want a really big picot, you have to leave more. This is, you've made one knot, another knot, and before you make the next one, you just go further and leave a lot more room. And that's how it goes. And so then later, so here you've got all your stitches, and now if you want to carry on, like here you're going to go and attach them. And so the way you attach them is you've got your, say, 3. Remember it was 3, this is what? 1, 2, 3, picot, 1, picot, 1, picot, 1, 2, 3. So this is, so here you go to your 3, and then you go through the picot, just the thread goes looping through. You don't take the whole thing through, and this will go through that, which will then, it will make it look like that. So instead of having to stick your whole shuttle through that, you just bend the thread and stick it in, and the end of your shuttle usually has a bit of a hook on it, and so you can easily hook this piece. You go, you're hooking it. You just lay it straight underneath there, and you stick your little hook in, which is the tip of this, and you pull it up. You make a loop big enough, and then you go through it. And that is how you're attaching to the picot over and over. So here is a thing where you go 1, 2, 3 stitches. You make your 4th stitch and a picot and the next stitch, and then you've got 1. So you're really only counting the ones between the 2 stitches that make a picot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, they make the picot. 1, they make the picot. So you've got picot is all 3 of those together. Picot, 1, 2, 3, 4, picot, 1, picot, 1. So you've got the same on both sides of the top, the same on both sides of the bottom. And then here, you're going to go to the next, you're going to go, you finish this whole thing, you've made 3 picots on it, this doesn't exist yet, and you finish here. And then this is what is happening now. So in order to create that, you're going to go 3 and a picot, which is, or 1, 2 makes this picot, 1, and then 2 makes a picot, and then 2, and then picot. So what you're doing is you're creating this, and then this. So you're going to go there, and you're going to just create this. And when you get that far, you're going to do what we did down here, where you're going to lay your thread straight beneath that, and you stick your shuttle in, just the tip of it, you pull it out and go through it. And so now you're linked onto that, and then you continue on. So this was your first thread, and then you did all of that. So you would go 2, and then you would hook it on, and then you go that and that and that. Now you're here, so now you're going to do another one. So this is how you do another one. You just keep going, and here's probably where they're going to hook into that one, or tie it back on there, or whatever. Now you know how to do that. Okay, everybody. Hey, you know what tatting looks like? The tatting shuttle? What else is it going to show you? The square knot is used to tie the shuttle and ball threads together. How do you end? That's what I think. Oh, I think you have to. And sometimes you use two shuttles. Oh, what does it say? May God help Leanne through whatever is going on with her mom. May he comfort her and through in situations and circumstances. You said it better than me. Susan, thank you, grateful. That's a beautiful prayer, grateful. Amen. Leanne, Life, and Susan. This is using a small thread and shuttle. Yeah, this is, you don't use thread, you actually use crochet cotton or embroidery. Not embroidery thread. It's the kind that comes in a big, huge white ball. Is that called crochet thread? I don't remember. I know here they call it crochet cotton. What are we looking at? This is telling how to decorate with them. Snowflakes give a lacy, frosty look to a Christmas tree. Miniature snowflakes can be used to decorate a small artificial tree. Have a gift tree of snowflakes and let each guest pick one from the tree. Saves time, work, and the cost of wrapping gifts. Tie snowflakes evenly spaced on a red ribbon to make a garland. Oh, that's interesting. Fasten the garland to the mantle of a fireplace or hang it in the window. This is good ideas. Scatter several small suction cups with hooks on a window. Hang snowflakes on the hooks. Ah, I like that. Decorate Christmas packages with snowflakes. I could use snowflakes to hide stuff I don't want to look at, like to hide the ceiling out there or whatever. Decorate Christmas packages with snowflakes. Glue them on in only a couple of places so they can be removed and used as a decoration by the recipient. Glue a miniature snowflake on a sheet of stationery to make a unique Christmas letter. Enclose a snowflake in a Christmas card for special friends. Use a floral pick to hold the snowflake and tuck it in a poinsettia plant or flower arrangement. Tack small snowflakes around the base of a candle with small craft pins to make a centerpiece. Wouldn't it be better to just attach them together? Anyway, lay a wide red ribbon down the center of your table and place snowflakes on top for a festive touch. Isn't that interesting? So those are ruffled snowflakes and the elegant snowflake, trefoil snowflake, ruffle edge snowflake, minaret snowflake, tiny snowflake, ribbon floss snowflake. This book is by Vita Sunderman, and it is this the thing? If you put your camera up to this, I'll hold it there for a moment so it can bring up the QR thing. QR code. I wonder if you can go closer to it, make it look bigger. Nope. There. Anyway, so that'll tell you about Tatted Snowflakes by Vita Sunderman. And it was Dover Publications, New York. And it's copyright 1995 by Vita Sunderman. Learn how to tat, shuttles and thread, and all these wonderful patterns. And the ISBN number, here it is there's ISBN 13, and it's $5.95 in the USA, but it's probably an old book now. When did we say it was copyrighted? Did we even see it? I was looking for it. These are other books. Here it is, 1995. So, oh, there's a QR code. So you can get this book if you want to make any patterns. $5.95 a while ago, and ISBN number is ISBN-13 colon 978-0-486 28303-6 and ISBN number -10 colon 0-486-28303-5. And the one at the bottom is 978-0-846-28303-6. I'd like to know more about barcodes. Wouldn't that be nice? Like, what do you know about barcodes? When I was growing up, a barcode was on every item, but it was never used. It didn't mean anything. And we were told that one day there would be scanners and it would be used to tell the price of things. Anyway, so let me know what your favorite one was. I don't know if we finished it. I think we got to page 30, didn't we? There we go. We've all got names. Frosty Snowflake, Star-Shaped Snowflake, Spoke Snowflake, Jingle Bell Snowflake. Oh, Jingle Bell, I'm going to do my violin. Oh no, it's 5 to 4. I haven't been outside. I gotta go. I gotta go play outside before the sun is gone. It'll be gone. It sets in 5 minutes. So I guess playing inside is over. You can come outside for a minute, but you're certainly gonna lose power very soon. Let me turn you around so you can sort of see what's happening here. I shouldn't sit for so long. That smells good. Look at this clean kitchen. Oh my gosh. We are quarantining, eh? We are here on our own for whatever, a week. I could wear them. Snow is not deep. Don't have to walk on the snow now. This one does not even fit it. It's not the same thing. Quick, quick, before the sun goes away. Well, I guess I'll just wear my coat. I don't know what I did with my mittens. Could you hold my coat for me? That would be good. If you were a real person that was right here with me, it would be wonderful. And then you could really hold my coat. Oh, look, Liam's here. Okay, so I'm going to go outside for a minute. Before the sun. You've already been outside.
My car and everything. So
Oh, nice. Look at how lovely it is.
so I can move it away a bit so they can do the other part.
Okay, do you want to do that? Here, you want to take this inside for me? Can you put this by the living room sliding door?
Okay.
Okay, let's check it out. Are you still there or are you... Look. You found a wonderful place all by yourself. Hi, Frida. Let's see. Your house looks amazing. I know, it's so clean. Okay, goodbye, Susan. We're going to go out. So let's look around. Ah, this is so nice. Look, that clothesline broke over. The trampoline tipped over and broke it. But we have retrieved the rope. Somebody asked how I had finished this. They said, you never did the answer. You never did the end. I'll show you one day. Trampoline. Go show. This is why I have a big deck, so that I can walk on it without worrying about getting snow all over me. I have to get the Christmas tree out, and I have to get in that studio and work on my pottery. I have to feed the deer. So many things to do. Look, that's ice coming down off there. Drip, drip, drip. Now this is the tiny other side. Oh no, it isn't. And this bottom one is not attached at all yet. I have to make it smaller, right? I have to cut off of there. Because this is not keeping out enough wind. And see the wall of fleece? And look, in the house. This is my view, which I need to perfect. How can I perfect my view? I have to remove those things. I could put them on that side over there. And these containers, they're very useful. Maybe they should be somewhere over here. Anyway, my view is all that stuff too. Yuck. That could go to the reuse center for some other child to use. This should all move. All those, I should decide which of these am I going to use and which am I not. I should get rid of the ones I'm not and then get the contain stuff to use for the ones I am. Right? These are to be put under the deck somewhere. And these need to be going. Look up there. See the line of the top of the hill? That ridge. The deer sleep up there. Oh no, what a disaster. Yuck, 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 yuck. Now, Nancy, this is your work shed. Yes, but I don't want it to look like this. Now, Nancy, it is what it is. Just chill out. Chillax. Now that's going to go and soak into the fleece. I should have put this. And these tables, this should be down there on the ground because I'm not using it in the winter. And this thing should go over on the other thing with all the rest of the swing stuff. And this beautiful little cattail swing for children, getting snowed on there. Are you still here or do you have to reconnect? Look, you're still here. And there's the teepee. What's this one called? Oh yes, the garden teepee. The flowers teepee. You see, there's no door there, but there's this beautiful staircase just for the teepee. I gotta finish doing the roof of the doorway. And the teacup trail. That hose is in the way. We have these containers of dirt out here and oh, looks like some of it's not frozen. I have cattails here to use. Oh yes, in the bathtub. Used to be in Nancy's spa. I can show you where it used to be. Dum, 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 dum. I took one bath in it this year. So over here, I have tools hanging here, but there's the tree bench and 3 hammocks. And I think that, and then the bathtub used to be in there. That's Nancy's spa down there. This is corner cedar, which perfect climbing tree for grandchildren. Oh my goodness, it's cold. Look at that snowy sky. Brrr. See, I can't even get into the room there from this way. I have to change things here. Maybe if this were not there, the snow would blow it off. As long as the snow doesn't blow it away. The wind. I'll hook it into that so the wind can't blow it away. Okay. Okay. See, you can just walk around once and get some exercise. You don't need to go for a big long walk. Get out there with all the world. Sounds a little bit squishy. It's kind of melty. I should probably do stuff, but not without mittens. Okay, that was it. Sun's gonna set. I'll be fine. In my indoor garden. Are you still there? Look, you are. You want to see what I did here? Put all the Christmas presents out. I'm going to do them up. And those are books that I have duplicates of. And all my baskets. And I made these with, I got these books online. And this shouldn't be over there. It's a little shorter. It goes right there. But I made all these, I printed out these books that I had found online, and I put them in these birch bark things. So whatever the printed out how to do it is. And then I made these lovely covers. You remember when I made all that stuff? There are videos all on there. It's all been done. Made a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is basketry books, and 6. Well, this one I tried to make a little design on. That was a good idea. Yeah, I should play with that. I should try and... I wonder if you could just draw a person. Wouldn't that be neat to draw a person on it? And then give them the book. Well, that would be cool. Well, I can't get that back in with one hand. So we have making books, and here is woodworking books, and then projects, and then how to make paper and all that stuff. And then there's wood carving down there. And this is drawing and painting and tatting and soap making and stained glass. And bird stuff. Those, I'm not sure, they don't go there. And then there's gourds and nature crafts and then gardening. And up here is rugs, rug hooking, crochets couple, and then knitting. This is toe-up sock book. And then lace making, quilting, slip covers. This is sewing. Then from over it's weaving. And then down below, there's atlases and songbooks. And now my mother's art books, they're somewhere. I have to, you know, that's what that project is. But look, I cleaned out in between here. Jam-packed with everything. Still a little bit on it. Oh, and I'll show you over here. And I cleaned off William's. Oh, look at that. Made a little table. And I put this little thing here as a decoration of the table. It's not just scraps that are sitting around. No. This tablecloth needs to be washed. But that wasn't part of the process. That stuff goes upstairs. See how nice and neat this is? Apples and petals, you know, for the petal throwers that precede the important person and throw petals down. Got the compost container and a bit of cards and the current books. And over here is all my junk, laptop. This is going to get hooked on the wall outside if I can figure out how to do it. Wires to charge everything. More wires to charge everything. My stick making. That's an awesome book. Double Your Energy and Live Without Fatigue. Tatted snowflakes. That's good to know right there. But that's too late now. It's in the trash. And then I showed you that. Now the weaving is going to get started. Putting it on. And over here, under here is all these suits from my dad. Well, this is all sewing machine stuff. This is the pattern I'm going to use. It's traditional bird's eye. And I like this one because I'm going to do many things, but this has got waffle weave on it. So if you do this, you see that's what you do for the whole setting up is 3 2 1 2 3 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 3 2. And so that's what I've been doing here. So go through. This is like 4 3 2 1. 1 is on number 4, so that goes. So if you can see those, you really can't right now, but they go through. The first one is going through 4, and the second is through 3, and the next one is through 2, and the next, anyway, 3, 5, 3, 2, 1, and all the way. So that's what that's. And this is my view, which is going to have to be tackled. And then, so I'm keeping under here. I think it looks pretty under there. And tamarack guys, and I guess this little towel is the wrong size. And I threw out his other leg by mistake yesterday. I could go retrieve it, I suppose. And she needs to be somewhere else. What was that? Oh, that was my door banging. I have to cut that thing off. Anyway, so that's my house. I've been tidying it up. It's a slow process. Well, I'm glad I've gone outside now because the sun can set and I'm just as happy as a lark. Even put things over here, nice and tidy and neat. Oh, there's my violin. I need to put a nail in the top of that to hold it. It stayed for 24 hours though. Anyway, I'm back in there. Gotta finish cleaning that. I think I'll take out my violin and I'll do some practicing. But first, my coat. I think I'm gonna buy now because you know you gotta do that eventually. So you may as well do it now. But I'll be back. See you later, love you guys. Bye bye. And remember, you can do this at home. Results may differ.